MotorWeek is made possible by Rock Auto.
When we first got our hands on the new Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG, we were tracing the route of the La Carrera Panamericana, chasing the road racing history of its legendary gull-wing predecessor. Now we meet again, this time in a more familiar venue of Savannah's Roebling Road Raceway, and hopefully we'll make a little history of our own. That wonderful stroll through the Mexican countryside sure was nice, but we had different plans for this SLS. 9 turns and a long front straight to be exact. Throwing $200,000 worth of automotive hardware around an ice-cold racetrack has a way of making one nervous. But the SLS is so surprisingly drivable that we were put at ease fairly quickly. It stays very flat in corners and has an incredible amount of power for coming out of them. And the sound is pure automotive awesome. A variety of adjustments can be made to suit driver preference, from transmission shifting points to amount of stability control, and an AMG button allows you to store your settings for the next time you arrive at the track. 53% rear weight bias and a long hood have the potential to make for an awkward-feeling car, but the SLS turns in very quickly, and the steering has a delightfully tight feel to it. Shifting for the 7-speed rear-mounted gearbox is done by steering wheel-mounted paddles. Shifts were fairly responsive in Sport Plus mode, but not as good as some other sequential manuals we've driven. Brakes are pretty much a slam-em-on affair. No dive, no fade, no worries, thanks to AMG Racing's 2-piece floating compound brake disc design. Providing power for our 160 mph front straight blast is AMG's own 6.2-liter V8. It delivers 563 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. No superchargers or turbos needed. Dry sump oiling reduces internal drag and allows the engine to sit lower. Technically, the SLS is a mid-engine design as the V8 sits behind the front wheels. When news of a new gull-wing first surfaced, many of us were skeptical that such a car could be pulled off in these modern, safety-conscious times, but we couldn't be more impressed with the result. The hood is long and the rear deck short, echoing the more pleasing proportions of the original gull-wing. And of course, there are the signature upward opening doors. While the look is nostalgic, the SLS is built around an aluminum space frame. And despite a wheelbase of 105.5 inches, an overall length of 182.6, curb weight is only 3,573 pounds. We hustled those 3,500 plus pounds through the quarter mile in only 11.8 seconds with a speed of 123 miles per hour. Reaching 60 from 0 required only 3.9 seconds. The SLS explodes off the line with superhero-like force. Shifts come quickly as the big V8 roars to life. Indicator lights in the gauge panel let you know when to shift, though leaving it in auto works just fine. Despite low times, the SLS never feels out of control, just hooked up and insanely powerful. Climbing inside proved to be easier than expected. The sill is high, but the opening is wide enough for plenty of room to maneuver. Still, it took practice not to bang our heads. Black and red leather seems to cover just about every surface inside, including the seats, door panels, and headliner. Alcantara inserts on the optional AMG Performance steering wheel provided good grip for track work, and the flat bottom design both looks racy and helps with getting in. Not that you have to be on a racetrack to enjoy the SLS. Just about any road will do. Ride is solid, but German GT cars smooth, making us wish we had more time with the SLS than we did. Government fuel economy numbers for the SLS AMG are 14 city, 20 highway, with a combined estimate of 16 using premium fuel. Original Mercedes-Benz Gullwings are among the priciest collector cars around, going for $500,000, which makes the 2011 SLS AMG's base price of $185,750 seem like a bargain. Options are plenty, and there is a gas guzzler tax as well, so most will go for more than $200,000. While we didn't make any history with our Roebling test, that doesn't mean our time with the SLS wasn't impactful. And if we ever have an opportunity to retrace our steps and do it all over again, we're ready to wing it.